most people play Call of Duty and FIFA. That's pretty much it. Now, if you take how much Game Pass costs a year and break that down and compare it to the cost of two games, you're actually being ripped off by paying for Game Pass. If that's all you're going to get is like two
Yeah.
games, it's actually more expensive to get Game Pass than it is just to buy the games. So they've kind of Game Pass went from being like the best deal in gaming to being kind of a rip-off.
Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the OLL show. As ever, I am joined by Mike and Jack, and we are here to talk about all things video games and the things that we feel like chatting about from this week's news. So, hello, Jack. Hello, Mike. How are you? How are you getting on? What have you been up to?
Mike, you go first.
Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot. It's only been a couple of days since our last stream.
Since the test run.
I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 4. Me and the missus, because actually one of the rare games is actually split screen. It's not 100% dead yet. So that's been fun. Just when the baby goes to bed, just having a couple of hours, just playing Borderlands. Quite good. It's unlike the other games. It's like an open world, so it's been quite fun, sort of exploring it. But the story's a bit whatever. But they've gone. The last one was really bad because it was very cringeworthy and horribly written, and the other one they've course corrected by just making it boring. But the gameplay's fun, so I've been enjoying that. But that's about it, though, really.
Yeah, I've not done a lot over the weekend. Molly and I have been playing Fortnite because that's also a split screen. She was playing it because the Simpsons season's out. She was like, "Oh, give it a go." So we've been playing that. I just moved the PlayStation upstairs before we started this to play some later in bed while the baby's asleep as well. So
I'm not a Fortnite player, but from what I've seen, that Simpsons integration does actually look really good.
oh, it looks really cool.
Like all we've been waiting for like 15 years for a Simpsons hit and run remake, and now they've basically just done this, and it's just like, well, that's the whole of Springfield all now put into another game. All the assets are there now. Let's get something else made specifically for Simpsons. Simpsons is having a bit of a comeback in general.
I know.
It's
really
brilliant.
To be fair, it is really cool. Like the bus is like Otto's bus. It's got the Duff blimp as the thing.
Yes.
Oh, it's really fun.
I'm guessing no Apu in the game, though, is there? He's been replaced, hasn't he?
There's no Apu, yeah. There's the skins are Bart, Marge. I think you can get. Yeah, I think that's it as far as I'm aware. I haven't played for the Battle Pass because I don't want to.
Yeah. Epic does great work on animated character skins, says Kisra.
They do, to be
fair. They've got the budget, haven't they? They've got the budget. So you've been playing Fortnite, Jack?
I have, and the Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Because I bought it a year ago and was like, oh, I might give this a go because I really enjoyed Fallout 4, and like I wanted something Fallout-y, and then I sort of wasn't quite into it, and then I thought I'd give it another go because Outer Worlds 2 is out, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only like a couple hours in, but it's a more enjoyable time. I found sometimes and this sounds really cringe, the older I've gotten, the more I've appreciated different games compared to when I was younger, even though it was only a year ago. I feel like because a lot's happened in my life in a year, I'm enjoying it more. So, and it's a nice little, because Dispatch has been my main one after Platinum and Ghost of Yotei, but I'm waiting for the next 2 episodes to come out on Wednesday.
Very good. Excellent.
What about you, John?
Well, I haven't really played many video games because it was my birthday yesterday. And actually, I was going to say I didn't get any games for my birthday, but I did get a game for my birthday. But yeah, it's been quite busy for that. So what did I do at the weekend? We went out and had waffles for breakfast at the Waffle House yesterday. Which was the first time I've been there. And I basically had like a fry-up on a waffle, and it was amazing. And then I got home and I played Lego most of the afternoon because it turns out that even when you're 45, you can still get Lego for your birthday. And I got this over here, the Lego Williams FW14B Formula One car. So I built that, and it's a matching set because it goes with the Ayrton Senna one. So I've now got matching sets, which I'm quite proud of.
You know what, John? You're never too old for Lego.
Exactly. And then I got Emily got me this game here, which no one is going to care about, which is Satoru Nakajima's F1 Hero from 1991 on the Famicom, which is quite a rare game, as are all Famicom games, really, but absolute mint condition. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's been good fun. It's been good fun.
Good.
So, yes, thank you for asking. The other thing is I was also lucky enough to get an Xbox credit voucher. And so I'm tempted. You can get the original Ridge Racer arcade game for the first time ever since 1994 when it came out. For the first time ever, it's been released in full, the proper arcade version, on consoles, and it's on it's on Xbox and PlayStation for 15 quid. So I might dip into that and make that my next stream. So keep an eye out for that. We might have a go at some original arcade stuff. Yeah, it's called Arcade Archives Ridge Racer. If you just type in Ridge Racer, it doesn't come up on the store. But yeah, search for Arcade Archives, and there's a whole bunch of like cool retro arcade stuff that you can get available on both of the main consoles, which is good. Aside from that, Emily's just been playing Power Wash Sim.
I love that game. It's so fun.
But yeah, she's working through the second game, and I can't remember what I just watched her do. It was a roller coaster. That's what she's doing now. She's cleaning a roller coaster.
It's such a silly little game, but fun.
It is. It's good. I haven't really played it. I've helped out here and there. It's not really my type of game, but I've been quite happy overall just to sit and watch it. It's very relaxing to watch.
It is. Molly enjoys watching it.
Well, good. So shall we get to our main topic of the show, and that is the future of Xbox, and what does it mean?
Oh, flashy.
Who would like to start? Anybody?
I'll go. Why not?
Go on. What do you think? Initial overall thoughts on the state of Xbox at the moment?
I don't think they're going to make another console. I know they made like this handheld
They've
one.
said they're going to, though, didn't they?
I don't know, because they're so big on like, because they make it's called the ROG Xbox Ally, isn't it? Something like that.
A massively overpriced handheld thing, which I'm sure it's good, but I don't really have a need for it personally.
But yeah, like I think Microsoft don't really have a lot going for them when it comes to exclusives at the moment. I think Sony have dominated that market for years.
Yes.
The remake of Halo Combat Evolved is coming to PlayStation as well. Yes. Campaign Evolved.
I mean, if they can sort out the frame rate, that's looking really good. We'll get to Halo. Get to Halo in a minute.
And like Forza, I haven't heard about a Forza game in ages. They're on PlayStation now, I think, and Gears of War as well. I think anything that Microsoft had going for them has, like, I know they bought Activision and Blizzard, and they've got all of these IPs, but like, because they're releasing them on the other consoles, it doesn't really give them a lot of like. I know the whole console war thing is old news. Like, I'm pretty chill with whatever, you know. People can play what they want, but like, if their main console, like the Xbox Series S, for example, that was meant to be the discounted, like the PS5 digital, right? Apparently, it was really hard to develop games for this S because it was just it was worse than an Xbox original, I think, or something. So like, I don't think they have a lot. I think they need to do something big. Like Starfield, I think got mixed reception. Elder Scrolls 6 will probably never come out. Well, it'll probably take longer than GTA 6 will to come out. Yeah, I don't think they have a lot going for them at the moment. There won't be a new Wolfenstein. Like none Bethesda. Unless, of course, they bring out a Fallout 5 and it's like revolutionary, which I doubt. But yeah, Xbox, I think for me, like I would like to have an Xbox One again purely because I've got a copy of Transformers on there. That's the remaster. But I think Game Pass is great. I think it's such a good model, and I think having it on PC though, like my mate or my brother-in-law, he's planning on giving me his old PC soon, and I'll just get Game Pass for PC, and that's anything Xbox I can play on the PC. So like Xbox to me, like I'll eventually, when they're like really dirt cheap and I can afford to, probably get an Xbox One again just so I have my old games from there, but that's it.
I feel like I don't really have. I mean, I've loved Xbox. I bought the original Xbox from America. I think I mentioned that in the last show. I imported my original Xbox in November 2001. I got an American one so I could be one of the first to play Halo and Project Gotham and those games. And I've loved Xbox throughout. The 360 was an incredible console. But at the moment now, I don't feel any sort of brand loyalty towards them like I do PlayStation and Nintendo and Sega and the rest of them. And I think it is just because it does feel like they don't really care very much.
No, I agree.
They are obviously, Microsoft, massive corporation, they exist to make money just like every business. But that whole faceless corporation, it's just run by the numbers. You get that impression a lot more with Microsoft than you do with PlayStation. They do hide that corporate side of them. Nintendo are very good at hiding all of their corporate rubbish that they do, at least publicly, on the face of things. Whereas Microsoft are very much like, if it's not going to make any money, right, stop it, change it, do something completely different. Game Pass obviously has done really well, but they obviously want to make more money from it. So I presume the idea why all of their big titles are now multi-platform is because I would imagine that their long-term goal is to have Game Pass effectively like an all-in-one game library subscription that's available on all devices. So when the tech is there to be able to just stream stuff without lag and everything, it'll work a lot better. But you imagine if you had a Game Pass app on PlayStation, that would be the way to go, I would think. But then you look at all the top titles now. New Halo, obviously announced for PlayStation day one. We've obviously got new Gears coming. Flight Simulator comes out in a few weeks as well, which is one of Microsoft's biggest games. Forza has been announced multi-platform for Forza Horizon 6 in Japan.
7? Is it 7?
I can't remember. I don't know. That's the point. I should know this. I should know what Microsoft's flagship driving game is. I should know all the details about that. Being,
it might be 6, actually. I think you might be right.
I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. I'm sure it's 6, but they're setting it in Japan. And I'm sure it's great, but they just don't really seem to be too fussed about it. But yeah, you're right. They did this statement, I think like a week before last, wasn't it? Where they said they're not exiting the hardware race, but their next system will be like a high-end premium thing. I think it's more likely it's just going to be a Xbox branded PC in a box, isn't it? It's not going to be a console with a curated library in the traditional console sense that we think of it now. I think it's just they're just going to brand some hardware, aren't they?
And charge ridiculous prices.
Yeah. But yeah, they've lost. I mean, they've pretty much lost everything that they gained from acquiring Activision and Blizzard. They could have gone down the path and had the path of exclusivity and said, right, Call of Duty is exclusive to Xbox, exclusive to Microsoft Game Pass, whatever. And they chose not to do that. But it's like, well, why would you spend whatever it was, £5 billion on what was it that they bought for $5 billion? What did they buy for $5 billion? The big one. Tell me about it. Bethesda,
yeah.
They spent $5 billion on Bethesda and didn't do anything with it. And it's like, come on, you're faceless corporation Microsoft. Why did they not go, right, it's all exclusive now and it's all on Game Pass only, and really, take the fight to PlayStation? But instead they've just gone the other way and said, oh no, we'll just put everything on there anyway. And so they've just lost all of the benefits that they've paid for. It was looking pretty good for Phil Spencer to start with when he took over, and he's kind of crashed the plane a bit, really, hasn't he? So it's a shame. What do you think, Mike?
Oh, here's the thing. I mean, let's talk about recent history. So Xbox kind of I think Nintendo were the first to do it, but Xbox followed suit and raised the prices of all their games. Then following that, they decided to raise the price of Game Pass. And also they've decided to basically take all of their games and release them on PlayStation and probably the Switch too. Now, nobody associated with us or the Discord or our Twitch streams or anything like that. You know, most people like we all buy loads of games, but most people play Call of Duty and FIFA. That's pretty much it. Now, if you take how much Game Pass costs a year and break that down and compare it to the cost of 2 games, you're actually being ripped off by paying for Game Pass. If that's all you're going to get is like 2
Yeah.
games, it's actually more expensive to get Game Pass than it is just to buy the games. So they've kind of Game Pass went from being like the best deal in gaming to being kind of a rip-off. I mean, you've got the new Xbox, the ROG Xbox, which let's not get it twisted. They looked at the ROG Ally, which was released. They thought this is pretty good. Let's just slap an X on it. Like this is not. It's not
It's
an
the
Xbox.
worst. It's the worst name for a thing, though, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I mean, to be honest, when it came out, I thought it was like one of those knockoff ones. You know, the
Just yet
not-
another handheld.
yeah, like
thing
not like
that
an
can run
actual
Windows.
official Microsoft one, but like because PlayStation have the PlayStation Portal, and obviously you've got the Switch. So I was thinking like an Xbox handheld would have a better name than the ROG Xbox Ally. Like it's such a confusing and
How much
convoluted
does one of
name.
those cost right now?
They're like £450 or something.
I think they're more than that, aren't they?
I read a
I'm
BBC
gonna look-
News
I'm gonna
article
look it
about
up.
it. I'm not too sure.
I'm going to look it up. I bet the price doesn't even show on the Microsoft website.
It's more than that. I think it's closer to $1,000. I think it's $1,000, whatever that is.
It's $499 for the standard version.
Oh, okay. But then I think the better version's closer to 1,000. It's the thing is,
Yeah,
There we go,
basically
it's-
Microsoft.
800 for the
Yeah,
for the
800
bells
for
and
the.
whistles. That's
Hmm.
mad.
That's
Well,
insane.
Microsoft basically wanted to speed. Microsoft did a Microsoft, which is without actually doing anything inventive. They just threw a bunch of money at a problem, which was they thought, well, the Steam Deck's doing pretty well. Obviously, the Switch has been doing well.
And the
Since
PlayStation Portal.
2017. Let's just go to the people who made the ROG Ally because Steam won't be interested in having any money thrown at them. And let's just go, all right, can you just make another one, but then just slap an Xbox logo on it, which is exactly what we did. Like, this isn't a new Xbox console. The Xbox is definitely I think they don't care about exclusives. I think that's fair to say. I think they're more interested in Game Pass than they are about making it like trying to have some sort of brand loyalty. But I actually think Xbox being out of the game would be one of the worst things that could happen to the video game industry. And the reason being is because that gives Sony complete it gives
Domination.
them complete reign to do whatever they want. Like Nintendo are weird. Nintendo are like off in their own little section of the video game like market where no matter what happens, they're not going.
Yeah, they're
But
good.
There's a lot of people that own a Switch and an Xbox, or a Switch and a PC, or a Switch and a PlayStation. So if PlayStation are the only people on the market, PlayStation can literally do whatever they want. They can charge however much they want. They can put as many microtransactions and whatever heinous stuff you can think of in their games because well, what else are you going to do? You're going to not buy a PlayStation console. There's no other option. So it's like I think Xbox being out of the market would be horrendous for the industry. I think competition is integral for any business. I think that's one of the reasons why monopolies in general are bad for business. You know, because when there's only one, there's no other option. You know.
So here's a question: if Microsoft got to the point where they weren't really considered a hardware manufacturer and they went more down the route of they're just a subscription service available on something else, or they're just a publisher that publish on all platforms, who what company could fill the void and be the third large hardware manufacturer? Or do we just go down to having two, just Nintendo and Sony?
I don't think there is
And
one.
PC?
As far as like, because it's always been Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo since I've been gaming, you know, and I've been gaming pretty much my whole life. From
Do you think
a
maybe
Wii
something like
4-year-old.
I mean, the obvious thing is Sega comeback. I think we can all dream, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
I mean,
They could do like
Microsoft.
I have
They
I
could
have two
rebrand.
potential ideas. I
Go
have
on,
two
Mike.
potential ideas. One I think is definitely more. One of them's a bit of a curveball, but one I think is potential. The first one I'd say is Steam. Obviously, they released the Steam Deck, so though I don't think it's likely, I don't think the idea of Steam releasing a console would be the most surprising thing in the world because
Well,
of the Steam Deck.
they were going to do it around the launch of original Xbox One and PS4. There was supposed to be like Steam boxes and Steam set-top boxes and things like that coming, and they never really sort of took off, did they? But what about someone like Apple?
Yeah,
No.
that was the one I was going to say because Apple have got the amount of money where they could. I mean, Microsoft are in the
It
same
would
boat, I
take
suppose.
it
But
would
like,
take that amount
they
of
can do
money,
whatever they
wouldn't it?
want. I mean, apparently on with Apple TV, they lose about $1 billion a year on programming, but
Ooh.
because they make so much money off literally everything else, they don't care. Like $1 billion
They lose
a
$1
year
billion.
is pocket change for Apple.
Yeah,
It's crazy. That's why
I mean,
their
I know how
TV's
much the
so
film
like high
industry.
production.
I mean, I know how much it is because obviously I did it as a degree, but like that's insane. I will say,
But they
I
don't
think
care because if you make $20 billion profit a year, what's losing 1 billion to your Apple TV? You know what I mean? Like it sounds crazy for us, you know, who aren't Apple, but like for them, it's just a drop in the bucket, like losing that kind of money.
I don't
It's a
think the Apple
marketing tool
arguments.
just for the brand more than anything else. Sorry,
I don't
Jack,
think
go
the
on.
Apple arguments are good. I don't think it would work because every time I speak to people about the fact that I have a MacBook, like the amount of jokes I've had, like, "Oh, don't game on the MacBook," you know, I don't think Apple products are not designed to game on. Yes, you can get Steam on my MacBook. I attempted to play Among Us years ago, but that never, like, Apple, because they're so finicky with like their App Store, for example, they're not allowed like external developers. They have to be like Apple approved developers and all this. I think having an Apple games console, I think, is very unlikely because they're so specific on what they use for their products, who goes on their stores, who adds. Like, I think they had a whole argument with Epic about the Fortnite mobile app, about V-Bucks and everything. So I think
But
MacBooks and
you know what
Apple.
they could do they would follow the exact same business model as Nintendo if they had a bespoke curated console ecosystem. Works quite well for Nintendo. Apple could just do their own version of something like that.
They could, but Kizral makes a good point. Like I said, they're too restrictive. They are.
Yeah, you wouldn't get third-party titles, would you?
No, you'd have like Apple exclusives.
Or they'd be ruined, wouldn't they?
Yeah, like.
Oh, what about potentially Apple go into do what Google were trying to do and go into the video game streaming market? Because
with
then it
Stadia.
wouldn't be about actually making it run on the hardware. It would be about making it streamable. So that's a completely different kettle of fish. Now, I feel like
That's closer.
that is way more likely for Apple to go to. I mean, so the next Xbox console is all over the place in terms of rumors. There's a cloud streaming rumor. There's a rumor that it's going to have Steam integration, which, to be honest, if Xbox has Steam integration, I think PlayStation are really going to struggle because that's kind of like, I mean, the fact that, I mean, Steam has PlayStation exclusives, one, but if you have an Xbox with Steam integration, why even bother getting a PlayStation when you've got a console with Steam integration? Like, that's too much. And if you just wait like a year, you're going to get a PlayStation game on there anyway.
Exclusive. There's not a lot of PlayStation exclusive stuff at all, really, is there?
It would kind of kill any desire to get a PlayStation if Xbox went down that route.
Most PlayStation exclusive stuff tends to be timed exclusive on PS5, until it then comes out on PC. Yeah. Kisra says, I can see Apple pulling off of streaming if they want. They could pull off streaming.
Yeah,
if they
I
wanted
agree.
to
I
go
think that's
down
a
that
more
route.
likely thing than
Yeah.
having an Apple console. I think the streaming route, like Google tried, is more likely than them having dedicated hardware to play games on.
I mean, you've got Apple Arcade, which isn't Apple Arcade's like it's more high end than say mobile games, but it's not quite on that level of
Yeah, they
console.
do.
Like I don't know.
They do
I mean,
have Resi 4 on there and Alien Isolation you can play on your phone.
I mean, you'd probably know, John. Do you hear about that Apple Arcade game? What's it called now? It's that one made by the Final Fantasy 7 creator, and they had the composer from Final Fantasy 7 also
Is it
worked on
Fantasy
it.
Star?
No, it was similar. It was called like not Fantasia. I can't remember the name of it now, but they had the
I think I
original
know of
director of
what you
Final Fantasy
speak.
7 and the composer. I think it was the last game he did before he retired, but came back for that game, and it was very much like a love letter to the PS1 era and that was like a full on RPG, like a full on game. And so they can pull off, if they can pull off some of that stuff of Apple Arcade, which makes you wonder, would they go full tilt into making full on games? I think it's not completely out of the realm. I can see Apple more likely than say like Amazon getting into that game anyway.
Yeah, Amazon seem to be more down the TV and movie route at the moment, don't they? Rather than games, they do seem to have given up a little bit with that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think there's not many other companies that could take the place of Microsoft. I would have thought.
I don't think Sega are making a comeback. I can see them potentially going the nostalgia route and maybe trying to release some sort of like retro machine. I know mini consoles are kind of dead and buried now, but
we are due a mini Saturn. The mini Saturn is overdue.
Yeah, I mean they gave up, didn't they? I mean there was the mini NES and Super Nintendo. And the mini PS1. I think the PS1 kind of killed it because everyone was disappointed by.
Yeah, well, that works. That works fine.
Out.
Once you've got some mods on it, it works perfectly well.
Yeah, I got mine modded as well with a lot of ROMs, but yeah, that was a bit of a mess. I could ironically see the Dreamcast before the Saturn. I feel like that's where the money's more likely going to be at.
Probably easier to emulate the games, probably from Dreamcast as well.
Well, a lot of Dreamcast games aren't they going on Switch anyway?
Well, that's the thing is, Kisra sells. I hope Nintendo Switch Online gets a Saturn and Dreamcast section. I mean, mini Saturn is technically possible, but then everything. I mean, everyone has nostalgia goggles for the Dreamcast, and at the time, the Dreamcast was amazing.
Never owned it.
But that's a shame, Jack. But it's an age thing.
It was good for a couple years, and then as soon as the PS2 came out, it was like game over.
All the good stuff
GameCube
just got re-released on PS2 anyway. Generally speaking, 90% of stuff came to PS2, and most of the good Dreamcast catalog has now been re-released or remade or remastered in pretty much varying degrees of success. But yeah, I don't really. There's no hope for Sega unless they would to do some sort of collaboration for a nostalgic thing, but certainly nothing hardware, not at all. It would need somebody completely different. WV has their original Saturn from all those years ago. Amazing! Wow! And Vargas is at Fight Night. Very good. Cheers, Vargas.
I went round Bill's house once. I mean, obviously everyone remembers Bill, and he's basically just got a shrine in his house, or he did, to like the Sega Saturn, just bookcases upon bookcases of Sega Saturn games. He tried to get me to sit down with him as like a full day of playing Sega Saturn games, and that was
presentation. He put a whole
dreadful.
presentation together for you. So at some point,
he showed me about 10, 12 games, and I think I liked about 2 of them. And he's like, "Oh, after 10,000 hours, you'll love it." I'm like, "I ain't got 10,000."
That does sound just like Bill. Speaking of Bill, just very quickly, Bill will join the OLL show at some point.
Oh, brilliant!
Once his new office is finished. But obviously he's a dad as well, so at some point
I've met his little
we
boy.
will
He's
see.
really cute.
Yeah, very good. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm sure we'll see Bill again soon. Hooray! Okay, that was. Is there anything else we want to say about Xbox and how much we're disappointed in everything they've done for the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's just Halo is a dying franchise. Forza is irrelevant.
Yeah.
There won't be a good Elder Scrolls for years.
I mean, when did they first show off the Elder Scrolls 6? They just hacked together that trailer. It was 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I remember we had a game. What was it? Was it at the cafe? We were holding
it was an E3
stuff,
night, wasn't it? And we watched
Yeah.
E3.
So it's like E3, which isn't a thing anymore. So like,
Was that pre-COVID? Was that like 2019 or something crazy?
oh, that was E3 was
2019.
Was it 2019? I thought it was 2018.
The Elder Scrolls E3 was 2019, I think.
Right.
So yeah, 6 years ago, just 6.5 years ago.
But yeah, and they've probably
we've still got
not even
nothing.
hit pre-production of it yet.
I mean, if they've obviously been full speed on Starfield and stuff, haven't they? So
it's like it's like the whole Mass Effect thing as well. Like you've got these studios aren't as big as people necessarily think they are. So like Mass Effect 5 got announced years ago and they've only just really started working on it now. Dragon Age has come out. It's kind of a similar sort of situation. Like it's like they probably had like 20 people working on Elder Scrolls 6 until Starfield came out, and then they're like, oh, we should actually probably go full steam ahead on that game now. I mean, they've already said they're going to make Fallout after Elder Scrolls 6. So like, why?
It's
so
like
get
15
excited
years
for that.
before we'll get that.
10 years.
I want a new Fallout because I only really played Fallout 4.
I mean,
and it was great.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim are two of my favourite games of all time. But looking how Starfield was, and I mean, I didn't finish Starfield. In fact, I probably didn't even get halfway in it. But the problem I had with Starfield is, even though it was clearly well made, it looked reasonably good, and all seemed to work quite well, but the game itself felt just like an old Skyrim and an old Fallout, which would have been great 10 years ago, but it didn't really feel like it had any new mechanics in it to me. And I felt that was quite off-putting. So I do worry that the new Elder Scrolls is just going to be more of the same but prettier. I really want it to do something new. So I don't feel hyped or excited for Elder Scrolls. I don't mind that we're taking forever to see it. I'd really like to see something new from it, though, when they do finally reveal something, whenever.
Well, Vigress makes a good point. They're still using their old engine.
Yeah, it's the same one since
Is it really?
I think Oblivion or
Yeah,
something
they're still
crazy.
using
No way, really?
They're still using the same engine from years ago.
They've like
Oh my
upgraded it, but
God.
like at this, I mean, most people have sort of given up with building engines in general and just been using like Unreal 5 or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think Oblivion was like kind of
know.
ran through a different engine. I could be wrong. I think it's Unreal, but yeah, I think like they are using old technology, and I think it's just an utter waste of time. I think nobody wants the feel of a game from like that many years ago. They just want the idea in their head of what that game would be like a nostalgia trip. They don't literally want the same feel of an old game. Like at the end of the day, like times have moved on. If you look at say something like The Witcher 3 or like Baldur's Gate 3 or like all these like RPGs that have come out since Skyrim or whatever, it's night and day. I mean, you got stuff like Cyberpunk and things like that. It's like
even Arkham Knight.
Starfield is just like horrifically outdated, and it's like, so I think the worst thing was I mean, I saw all the comparisons when Starfield came out to Cyberpunk, and like it was night and day, like the difference in graphical fidelity and quality and writing and everything really.
Honestly, I've played it like 3 times. It is a fantastic game now.
Yeah, I got the platinum trophy. I think I clocked in exactly 100 hours once I'd finished the DLC and got the platinum trophy. So I did sort of everything, but
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a great
I
game.
haven't got the platinum, but I love it. For me, I've played through 2 female V playthroughs and 1 male V, and female V's voice actor is fantastic. And she won an award for her role in Cyberpunk. Like, she won a game award for her voice acting role. She's really
Wow.
good. I'd recommend playing as female V, at least from what I've experienced. Male V's good, but female V I preferred. I thought her acting was brilliant.
I'm more of a Pan Am kind of guy, so I just have to pick male
Oh
V.
no, I'm a
I've got
Judy
it.
guy.
I've got
John,
it.
play it, play it, play it. It is fantastic.
Right.
Play it.
I'll come back to that. Let's do the show first. Our next topic, which I'm sure we've talked about before, probably on quite a few occasions. So
John, your camera's gone out of
it's the
focus.
background. Oh, it has, hasn't it? Boink, doink. It's because I've moved it about too much. Haven't
There
I?
we go.
Light in the middle. There we
You're
go.
back
That's
now.
a little better. So my question now is: have we got any different answers from the last time we asked this question to ourselves? Are we bored of remakes? Are we sick of remakes? Do we still like remakes? Is it still a thing? Go on, Jack, get us started on this one.
Apart from the rumored Transformers remakes, yes, I think they should stop doing remakes. Like, I just look, it's all nice. Yes, it's good to play. Like, obviously, I'm a huge Last of Us fan, so I was very grateful for the remake on PS5. But I think because the gaming market at the moment is remake, remaster, indie game that gets a little bit of following but not a lot.
Yep.
Remake, remaster, new game that gets barely any stuff. Then you get the rare ones like Expedition or Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got exclusives like Sony stuff. And like, yeah, exactly. There is demand for remakes because everybody wants their favorite game remade, like myself included. But a lot of the I just go and replay older games because none of the games coming out that aren't remakes, and if they are remakes, they don't interest me because it's not a game that I've played before.
Is it maybe, Jack, though? Is it maybe because I'm significantly older than you?
You're not that much older.
I'm 45, mate.
I'm 26.
Exactly. Nearly 20 years. Oh my god.
That's not in the gaming world. That's not a huge difference.
But my point being, do I, as an older person, I'm probably more into remakes, at least of older games, than perhaps you would be.
No, yeah, I see that.
Because an older game for you would be something like GTA 5 that would have come out when you were how old?
Well, I was in high school. I think an older game for me, if it was a remake, would more be like the PS2 era. So, like, to be fair, I'd love a Sly Cooper because they obviously re-released the Sly Cooper games. But I'd love remakes of them.
So, would I be right in saying to you then, Jack, that if they were to announce loads of remakes for, games of your childhood, like PS2 games and stuff, you'd probably be well up for that. Certainly way more than someone saying, we're just going to top up GTA 5, we're going to top up The Last of Us, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they were announcing loads of things like that, like at the moment, we're seeing loads of stuff on, PS1 generation remakes, like, we've had the Resi trilogy, I suppose Resi 4 now as well. But there's been a lot of 16-bit and PS2, 16-bit and 32-bit stuff that have had remakes. And as time goes on, we're now going to start seeing remakes for game developers that are in their careers now who want to remake PS2 era stuff. You'll probably then become more interested in remakes. And I don't know if the same might apply to you, Mike, or do you like remakes, Mike? I don't know. Where do you stand on this?
So I was the one that brought up this topic, and the reason why I brought it up is because of an internal dichotomy in my brain, which is every time I see a trailer for a remake, I get really excited. I go, "Oh my god, can't believe they're remaking that game!" And I wish list it, and I get ready for the release date, and it comes out, and I don't buy it, and I think, played it before. So it's like it's like this, like one of my favorite games of all time is Metal Gear Solid 3, and obviously that got a remake this year, and
Yes.
I was so hyped. I flipped when I saw the
Oh,
trailer.
everyone went, "No, that trailer was amazing, wasn't it?"
And again, it came out, and I went, play the original. Same thing with Silent Hill 2. Phenomenal game. Like, the only bad thing about that original game is the gameplay, which is obviously improved
Just
in
the
the
most
remake.
important part of the game. The only bad thing about the
Again,
game was the game.
again, like a game that I can 100% recommend people play. But again, I didn't play it because I've gotten to that point now where I think, okay, do I really want to drop 60 quid on a remake when I can spend that same amount of money if I am going to play a game on something that I've never played before, never experienced before? What's the point in getting The Last of Us Part 1 remastered when I've already played that, when I can just play, Expedition 33, or like no doubt I'll get like The Witcher 4 when that comes out next year, or
Oh
like
yeah.
Wolverine, or like any of the myriad of games that are coming out. It's so it's an interesting one, but I also think, and the same, and Oblivion remastered, I was so excited when that came out, bought
Yes.
it, downloaded it, played about 10 hours, haven't played it since. And not because like I didn't enjoy my time, but it's just like,
You've
I
done it
think with
before.
remasters and remakes, I get this. I get in my head that it's going to be more exciting revisiting these games than it actually is. Now, I think it's
Yeah.
important for us to make the distinction between something like a, Crash Bandicoot collection, or a Metal Gear Solid 3, or a Silent Hill 2, and a Resident Evil remakes, or the Final Fantasy 7 remakes, because they're completely different kettle of fish. You're comparing a remake that is, for the most part, the bones of the original, and these other remakes that are completely different games. Now, with those types of games, it's a different story. Like, I am excited when a Resident Evil remake comes out. I am excited. It's like, if it's a new game, I'm more likely to pick it up than if it's a one-to-one remake. Even though, in the case of something like a Metal Gear Solid or a Silent Hill 2, if you asked me how would I remake the games, I'd say, oh, they're perfect. You don't really need to change anything. So it's kind of like it's a weird contradiction. But I definitely think they need to make sure the originals are available. Like, you've got the Metal Gear Solid collections.
I think there should be a rule that whenever a remake comes out, it has to include the original game as part of it.
But then they wouldn't make as much money.
That's a good point, yeah, because they want people
I
to
would
buy them.
argue that they would make more money if they did the Metal Gear Solid approach and released a collection. Like,
Ah, yes.
Capcom make a killing off their Street Fighter collections, and like they
Yeah.
released that Marvel versus Marvel versus Capcom collection, but they will not, for the life of them, just release a PS1 Resident Evil collection. And
Yeah.
I've like Mega Man as well. There is a collection for all the classic Mega Man games, all the X Mega Man games, all the Zero Mega Man games, like, and all their other spin-offs are basically all in collections now, which is great if you're a Mega Man fan.
Mhm.
Same with Street Fighter, that's pretty much all collected now on modern console. They even released a fighting collection, which was all their sort of obscure games put into one bundle. But they won't, for the life of them, just re-release the classic. Or same with Dino Crisis, they won't release their classic horror games, and I think that's a
Well,
really weird
while it's not
omission, because it's not
while
like
it's not
PS1 games are hard
re-released
to emulate.
on the PS4, on the retro collection on the PS4 or for flipping heck, for PlayStation Plus Premium, you can get the
Mm.
original Resi Trilogy and Dino Crisis, but they're not very well optimized. They don't run very well, and you have to stream them. You can't download them, so they do run a
Right.
bit naff, unfortunately. But just a question, while you mentioned Metal Gear there, I'm ashamed to admit I haven't played many Metal Gear games. And
No.
the reason I didn't get the third one is because I hadn't actually played the second one. I remember Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, and that was incredible at the time. But then I haven't really done much since. So if I was a newcomer coming into Metal Gear, what should I play? Should I play through all of them? And what are the best ones to get? Can you answer that question for me?
So right, in terms of core games, there are 6 core games. So you've
Yes.
got Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
You've got 5, which is the Phantom Pain, and there was one
Yes.
on the PSP called Peace Walker. Now, in terms of, so they've released one collection, which is 1, 2, and 3, and the games on the MSX, but I personally wouldn't recommend necessarily playing those.
Oh, I'm not worried about
Um,
like the old 8-bit stuff. I'm thinking sort of Metal Gear
you know,
Solid PS1 onwards. So
so
what have they
so
remade or
I've
re-released?
I have actually got a physical copy of the Metal Gear Solid collection. If you wanted to borrow it, John,
Is that
at some point.
PS4, PS5?
Yeah, PS. Oh no, you haven't got a.
I'm a
You got digital, only, haven't
PS5
you?
Pro snob, and I am digital.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. That's fine.
Well,
But
there's a PS4 in the building somewhere which I can drag out, I suppose. Actually,
so the Metal Gear Solid games are really weird in terms of how they are chronologically. So the third game, which I think is one of the reasons why they chose to remake it, is it's actually a prequel. So it's set like
okay.
it's the earliest game in the timeline. So you can 100%. And honestly, I just would give anyone any excuse to play Metal Gear Solid 3 because it's a phenomenal game. So you can and should
I need to
jump
see
into
how
Metal Gear
expensive
Solid
this is now,
3
don't I?
at some point. So yeah, John, you definitely need to start making a list.
I need to.
Um,
Right,
John,
move
how
the
about I
camera
search
across
it on
again.
my phone instead of you turning your PlayStation on?
Do that. I could have just looked it up on my app as well, couldn't I? It's too late now. I've turned it on.
yeah,
Hang
Let me
on.
have a look.
3 is the only one so far that's been remade. They haven't announced any others yet. I think the thing is,
Is that Snake Eater?
Metal
Is
Gear
that
Solid 3
3?
was on the
Yeah.
PS2, and it's a lot easier to remake a PS2 game than it is a PS1 game because for Metal Gear Solid, they could not do a one-to-one remake. That would have to be it would have to be a Resident Evil situation where they have to take the
Yeah.
entire game, rip it out, and just
You're
do it all
literally
from
just
scratch.
making a new game.
They've got
But
the
I
Metal
think
Gear Solid collection for
I'm
50 quid, but you can buy the game
tied to those
separately.
original voice performances. I'd be a bit trepidatious about doing a remake of the first game. Where with 3 actually, all the dialogue is exactly the same, like the same voice lines. So the performances are
That's cool.
exactly the same, which is ideal, really, because they are, like I said, I mean, that's might be my favorite game of all time. Definitely my top 5.
Really?
I've not played
Metal
them.
Gear Solid
I
3
have
is
to
one of the
say,
only games that
the,
has an ending that makes me emotional. If you know, you know. But yeah, I definitely recommend Metal Gear Solid 3, 100%. I
okay.
honestly at this point I'd just play the remake. I wouldn't bother necessarily with the collection
Well, the thing with
if
the
you're gonna
collection
play
is
3.
the collection is £49.99. So I play the first 2 games. Just £25 each for the first 2 games.
Yeah.
The flipping whatever it is, Metal Gear Solid Triangle, 69.99, 70 quid,
Well,
70 quid.
that's the you
Yeah,
can get.
I'd say get your list up, John. Play play all the games you have
Flipping,
on your list, and by the time you get round to Metal Gear
that's
Solid
what I'm gonna
3,
do.
hopefully it'll be on sale.
I'm just gonna play the Alex Kidd remake. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's where I'm all about. I can't believe Alex Kidd got a remake. That's incredible, and that is genuinely a good game. Anyway, right, back in the room once again. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a Metal Gear tangent there. Yes, the triangle is Delta. Oh, flipping heck. There we go. That's better. When I get myself organised once again. There we go. Are there any other remakes you'd like to see? Apart from Transformers, Jack. Apart from Transformers.
Sly Cooper, because they've re-released the Sly games,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the first
yeah.
3 on PlayStation. I think there's like a PlayStation 5 port, Like if you go into it, it's got the original like PS1 login and everything. They'd be called a remake because I loved them when I was younger, like the Sly games. I played through them all because I bought the Sly collection. Wacky Races would be a good one, I think. Loved Wacky Races.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not a lot
Yeah.
of remakes that I haven't got or like want. So
That's
like,
the thing. They will eventually run out of good games to remake, won't they?
yeah.
So maybe
And
the
they'll
problem
just-
will solve itself for anyone who thinks that remakes are a bit of a waste of time and resources.
I think the whole Last of Us remake,
Oh, that was
that's
thing. Ridiculous.
That was, as much as I am a shit shrill and did buy it, and the remaster of 2, purely for my own collection / specialness. I do think it was such like it's just like they've released this new complete edition as well, where you get both games on PS5 and it comes with extra stuff. They need to let it go to bed.
Let's just make a third game, or just shut up and move on to your next game.
Like the second series was not good, so they need to stop. Really,
Yeah, that was disappointing.
I mean,
That was very
this is the thing about how like the industry progresses in terms of like the gap gets smaller every generation. So like the justification for remakes, once you get past maybe PS3 era, like you kind of ran out of excuses to bother remaking any game. Like it's gone to that point now where you can play, say,
There's no
Ghost of
technical
Tsushima,
jump anymore, is there, between
like Ghost of
generations?
Tsushima on the PS4, even if you play the PS4 version, still looks incredible.
Mm.
And you compare that to say like, obviously Ghost of Yotei does look better, but if you like the difference is quite marginal. Like the difference between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 is barely a difference at all, you know. It's a case of the gap now has gotten to that point where it's so small. There is literally, I do not want to see a single, like I'm not interested in any PS4 games that are
No,
getting
of course not.
remastered in the
There's no point.
slightest. Like not
No
even
point.
slightly interested. I just do not see the point or purpose unless it's like, unless I haven't played it and they're adding like loads of extra content. But if I've already played it, there's no point. I mean, the only reason I waited for the PS5 complete version of Cyberpunk is because I'd literally hadn't played it before. If I'd already played it, I wouldn't have bothered going for
I
the
have the
upgrade.
PS4 disc, and I got the free upgrade on PS5.
Ah, very good.
But yeah, I think it's pointless, honestly, remaking any game from you know, I don't know, like 2015 onwards. Really, it just feels like a colossal waste of space and time.
Right, we will worth a shot. We will end it there then before I run out of anything to say. So thank you very much to everyone who has watched today. We shall be back with another edition of the OLL show next Monday at 7:30. I will be back streaming on our usual Twitch channel, Twitch/OLL_games. I will be streaming either the Arcade Ridge Racer or the Egg Game, which you'll have to tune in and see what I'm talking about for that one. So thank you very much, Jack. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Cheers for joining.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. And thank you to all the chat. We'll see you all very soon. It won't be Pop Bills Reynard City, don't worry, but it could well be an Egg Game Kiss, right? Yes, right. Goodbye, good night. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye. And then we awkwardly wait for the stream to